change up the vibe, want you in my life. I sit to the side, I will let you decide. I stay out of the way, I know you know what's best for me. Just a pinch more of your spirit completes the recipe. You're all that I needed, tired of playing defense. When you take control of my life, it has a meaning. I need you to have your way. I don't wanna drive, I stick to the side. I just wanna ride along. I gotta ride along. You can take the wheel, I'll be still in jail. I just wanna ride along. You got full control. I'll leave it up to you, I promise. I'm not gonna move, you got this. I'll just work on me while you driving. Ride along, ride along.
YouTube, everybody out here in the YouTube world, what is up? What is up? I got my favorite people on the panel. We got Boombox, and then we got Rance. Oh, look at you, Boombox, doing your thing today, huh? I'm gonna have to cut your camera off. All right, guys. So we got a crazy show going on today. We're going to talk about, what Control Alt Delete means. I know you guys were dying to figure out what does that title mean. Well, remember what it used to mean back in the day, right? For the computers.
Reset your computer.
Reset your computers. But unfortunately, that is it's a little bit different. It does mean that you may have to reset, recalibrate, but we're talking about the child support today, guys, the child support. And so what child support does, it tries to control you. Then it tries to, alter the way that you're moving, how how your income looks. And then it's to delete you out of the family. So, that was how I came up with the title. Pretty clever, huh? All right, so nobody said it was clever, but I thought it was. So anyway, we're gonna jump right into the video. Y'all ready to see this video? Let's let's let it roll.
Is it possible that
I influenced her to try and get me for $20,000 a month for a 2-year-old? No.
Is it? Yeah.
No. We never spent $20,000 on my daughter when we were together. Mm-hmm. And I had the money.
Yeah, but now
I don't like, who spends that kind of money on a kid? Mm-hmm. She was 1 when she took my baby from me. Mm-hmm. We never spent $20,000 a month on our child, and the credit card was wide open. So what the fuck do you suddenly need that kind of money for?
You changed the quality of life.
I was going to say the exact same
What
thing.
happened?
Like the quality of life.
No, he didn't. Yes,
Do you don't wait, Ish? You don't think that the quality of her life changed simply by entering his existence and his orbit?
Did you hear what he said first?
Yeah.
He said
he never spent that.
During the same quality of life, you did not spend $20,000 in 1 month.
And she never became.
Open credit card. So the $20,000 a month, you can. It's not changing the quality of life. Right. He's saying with the high quality of life that.
I'm supposed to be responsible because I am responsible. I don't want to be. I want to spend my life savings on this. I want to abandon all financial responsibility and dump it in here. You think I want to pay bills and be on time and take care of churn? I don't. I want to do hood rat shit with my friends.
And that is the mindset of some, well, really, fathers and mothers. What do you guys think?
I think that, what'd you say, Rance?
I said ladies first.
I think that it definitely depends on the dynamics in the situation, but I do think that 20 grand a month for a 2-year-old is outrageous. I think that's kind of excessive.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, because what does a 2-year-old need? Unless the 2-year-old is paying all the bills in the home.
Right.
Like it's like at that point, the child has become, the person that the adult is relying on the child.
All right, what do you think, Rand?
And I'm gonna preface it with this: I'm gonna say, ladies, I probably do it if I could be in this type of circle. Some ladies put themselves in positions to meet a certain level of guy, knowing that this guy's gonna cheat on them, so they can, he gonna cheat on me, and then I'm gonna get a divorce, and I'm gonna take half. But yeah, that's a lot. So I mean, that's also wife support to, I don't know what their lifestyle was. I don't know if it was $20,000 a month to maintain the lifestyle when he was in the house, but that probably wasn't the case either. I don't know what a mansion's mortgage is, but all those things together probably with security and food and that. It probably wasn't $20,000 a month. So again, a child definitely doesn't need $20,000 a month. So it's like Boombar said, the mom is living off the child.
Right, and trying to basically use the dad's money. So now he has to, in order for the dad to feel like he's doing a good job as a father, I usually hear that the female will always say, well, I can't pay my bills with this. It's not to pay your bills. It's to take care of the kids. And that's where a lot of the issue comes in. For a lot of men, I don't really think, well, not a lot. For some men, I don't feel like it was, the fact of the money. I feel like it's the fact of what they're going to actually do with the money. Like the kids, like I seen this one video where the house looked worse than a drug house. And the mom wasn't available, and it was just nasty. I'm surprised I didn't see roaches running around. He's like, well, what is your mom doing with the child support? She's gone again as usual. Did y'all eat? No, we ain't eat. Huh? So, that makes you're probably out with another dude, fine dining, kids at home, because you don't care about my kids, but you wanted the money so that you don't have to work. You want to be a boss chick. You're portraying a boss chick, but with my money. So,
I don't know if that consists of alimony or a whole separate thing, and I don't know much about alimony. I just know it's paid to the wife, right, to the spouse. Then you have situations like Mary J. Blige, or Faith Evans. She got to pay Stevie J $10,000 a month. I'm like, damn, she still got $10,000 a month money. Like, she ain't put an album out since damn 2001.
Right. So, man, hey, I can't do it. I can't do it. So what do you think about that? Do you believe in, well, let me play the rest of this and then we'll see what you think.
We didn't spend 20 bands. So now, why is $20,000 a month needed if we never spent that?
He also said,
and she also complained every step of the way about spending or overspending.
He also said, and I had it, and we never did that.
True.
Okay, but now the person that had it is gone.
You missing? You pivoted, but go ahead.
How?
No,
the expenses are the expenses. The expenses are the expenses. He's saying, if let's say
I never spent $20,000 on her a month, let alone the child.
But she's not living with it. Everything changes.
But it's not that. It's not that number that changes the quality of life. You changed it.
No. She changed it. She left me. And
wow. So she left them, y'all. So she chose to leave. So this poses a question. You had the great lifestyle. You didn't. I'm pretty sure, because I've seen him opening doors and all that other stuff. But he was really happy with her. Like he was really crying. Like, like, you know, a coyote at nighttime getting whipped. Like he was really balling. And so she left him, and now you're asking for 20 grand? Why? Why should you get that?
Right.
Boom, what do you think? Why should she get that? Why should she be entitled to be compensated?
I wasn't at the courtroom. I wasn't in the courtroom, but so I can't really say why she's entitled to that. I think it was
because she's not.
I think it was he tried to outsmart her by making her sign that prenup, right?
Kobe.
And they said that the prenup was ironclad.
Kobe.
So there was no loopholes in this prenup. But they found the one loophole that he did not have.
It wasn't a loophole. It was just a whole nother avenue.
That was a loophole because it was not disclosed in the prenup. You know, when it comes to having kids, there was nothing in there about child support or any of that. So, GMT, what up?
What's
Yo,
up?
What it do? What it do? What's going on, y'all?
What's going on? What's going on?
And I'm listening.
We're gonna give you one of those for pop.
Got Rand and GMT in the building.
All
so
right.
yeah, like I was saying, I think that the loophole, you know, was the fact that he did not have anything. If a child was to come into place in the relationship, that, you know, there was like a flat set amount as far as what he would pay or how that co-parenting dynamic would go.
Well, I got something else for you.
That was
go ahead, Rand.
Loophole.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a loophole. It's not really a loophole. It's the fact that no matter what, I don't think you can even write up a contract, because I feel like it would be voidable off the rip if you say, and if I have a kid with you, I'm not paying for him. I don't think that's legal. I don't think you can do that. Can you?
Right.
I mean,
if she signs it now, a contract is a contract.
What do you think?
I think it's going to have people start. I mean, even average people, non-celebrity people, it's like, we got to do this prenup. You're not going to, because if I come up on or whatever, it's like Chris Rock said, if I make $30 million, you take half, ain't no big deal. I make $30,000. You have to pull a O.J. Simpson, you know. It's like
Bronco time.
Exactly.
No, but you know, I regardless of whatever the situation is, 30,000, 30 million, you know, a contract is a contract.
It's a fact.
What do you think, GMT?
So, I'm a little late. I know I'm late, tardy to the party. If y'all had super chats, I would have dropped the super chat.
Right.
But you know, that's you got to pay the cost for being late. But if I'm right, you guys are talking about Tyrese's case, right, with the child support.
Right.
And so what was that last video? Because I started watching it, but then I started logging in at that same time. So what were they talking about exactly?
Go ahead, Boom. I'm gonna let you take this one.
So he was explaining his court case and how it went as far as him having to pay $20,000 for a month for his 2-year-old child from his ex-wife. And so one of the guys, his debate was, you know, that the dynamics changed because you're no longer in the home. And then he also said that the guy said that Tyrese left. And Tyrese said, no, I didn't leave. She left. She wanted to leave.
Right.
And so he was basically saying, like, we didn't even spend that amount of money when we were together. We didn't spend that amount of money on our child together. So why now? So
which is real, and I get that. I just feel like my personal opinion about that whole Tyrese thing is exactly what they try to warn men to stay away from. He didn't do that. So yeah, this is part of the game. I do feel like it's wrong, and I feel like the child support system, is something that is just, pretty much taking men to the cleaners. But at the end of the day, men should know better than to deal with these women. The problem that I have is I could see that his ex-wife is a chameleon, right? And when I say she's a chameleon, she goes online preaching against women like that. But then it's in the court system doing to him what she's telling men to stay away from. So that's like a slap in the face when you look at it. Maybe she was trying to be some type of chameleon dealing with him, but that's how it goes. How it goes. What's up, Hassan? Salute.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, well, she's wrong if that's what she's preaching to the choir, for sure. She's definitely dead wrong for that. And then, of course, like, I'm not wholeheartedly against child support, but I think for fathers that are present and in their children's life, like why would you take that from the child, choosing money over the father being in the child's life? But for a father that's not providing time, and then also complaining about providing money, like that's an issue.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, I think like any other financial situation, like if you weren't paying your taxes or you owed or whatever, foreclosure, they go off of everything that you have going on currently, and they base your payments or whatever it is you need to do to get caught up. So they say, hey, okay, you were spending, let's say $11,000 a month to maintain your home, medical bills, food, just maintain your house, $11,000 a month. Okay, that's what you need to maintain the house. But again, she left, so it should be on her to find her own place of residence, and then he pays, whatever it costs, daycare, tuition for school, X, Y, and Z to raise the child, not to pay for her apartment just to keep the child in the same a mirror image of
lifestyle,
where he's staying. Lifestyle. Like, I'm not gonna pay for a mansion, same thing across the street, just so the child can let me get full custody, and she ain't got to worry about that. Let's see if that works that way, because it ain't like he's a celebrity. He can bring his child with him anywhere he wants to.
Facts.
To an extent, bring a nanny or whatever the case may be. Ain't like he got a job at the factory.
Right.
And then when you think about it, right, the whole thing with this child support and that I hate is that you hear like, oh well, like we say, the mom expects the lifestyle to be maintained by the man. But in reality, if we're not together, and especially if you're the one that chose to leave, why on earth is it that I'm supposed to be the one that keeps up a full lifestyle for you? No, you left. So you should be the one working on maintaining your lifestyle. And then what I'm supposed to do is just give my part for the child. And if you can't or feel like the child should have more in life, send the child with me. I'm good. I'll take care of my child. You know what I'm saying?
I'm over here.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, I think that should be something that really, I won't say needs to be studied, but brought to the forefront as to how they come to these decisions. Like, where do you get this number from? Like, where do you get this? It's so arbitrary. I know the California rules about divorce and stuff like that vary, but this stuff is just all over the place, and nobody really has an explanation.
Right.
Or I haven't heard one. Put it that
that's
way.
That's what I was saying. Like, that's why I said I wasn't in the courtroom, so I can't really say how this came about. Like, maybe there was some other stuff that was going on. Maybe it was some things that she was doing that she felt like she should have been compensated for. I'm not really sure how he came up with 20 grand. I do know there was a clip where he had confronted Tyrese for his tax returns back in like 2018 or 2019, something like that. And I don't even know why you would count that far back, being that
So and I want to help you out with that. So what he said was, Tyrese said, I had a bad year. you know. And so a bad year for us isn't a bad year for Tyrese, right? So Tyrese says, hey, I don't make that much money. I had a bad year this year. He said, well, $2 million isn't a bad year. And he's looking at him like, okay, Mr. Smart Guy. This way, he's like, because you know, $2 million, like you have to maintain your own lifestyle. $2 million if that's your worst year that you're having, that's enough to, you know, put you in a depression when you're making that much money. So he came to him, was like, he started saying, what he say to the attorney when he questioned him? He said, listen, Mr. Smart Guy, see, you don't know. And the judge automatically cut him off, sunned him like a little boy, patted his head, sat him down and thing. His hand was still out trying to conversate. And he was like, you don't do that in the courtroom. You know, he chastised him and just,
and then went to his chambers.
And then went to his chambers. Yeah, he dismissed him. You know,
so it was a regular courtroom, wasn't like the little office joint where it's just her.
No, it was he was on the stand getting cross-examined.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, and he just, I guess he, you know, I don't know how he picked sides or whatever. But it was a big thing going on. He asked a few people, what was it, Martin Luther King Jr. the third, or Martin Luther King the third. And someone else, he was asking people to come and help defend them on all this other stuff. So
yeah,
I don't know what job outside of like a neurosurgeon or radiologist, a couple other jobs where you getting $20,000 a month. I mean, I don't know what she could have been doing for $20,000 a month.
Well, she was probably gonna get her butt done or something like that.
Dump truck.
The thing is with her, she's a chameleon. Like I said. She is all about, like, I don't know if you know about her rants. Like, she is all over YouTube. She actually has a big YouTube following.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even know she existed until the divorce came about.
Yeah, exactly.
So every time she drop a video, she go viral. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Every time she drop a video, she talk about what I talk about.
So she probably makes probably $20,000 a month on her own from Meta or whatever.
Yeah, YouTube. YouTube is paying her. So, and she talks red pill, right? She talks like, oh, these women, if you deal with them, they're gonna rape you. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry. Sorry, I'm a little emotional and passionate about this topic. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the court system before, and I'm still currently in the court system. But this one, what I'm in it for now, is not like crazy, right? Like it's something where New York, whenever you get a divorce, those that don't know, if you're in New York and you're married and you get a divorce, the man automatically pays child support. They say, right, whoever has the child is the one to pay child support, which it could be the man or the woman. But we all know the likelihood is that the mama gonna have the kid. So divorce for you, the man, equals child support automatically. Just because you got a divorce.
Let me tell you the type of fear that puts in men's hearts, knowing that type of thing, knowing that.
What?
That you automatically, like, you know, this girl could be getting with me, this woman could be getting with me for my money. You know, that's the first thing a man looks at, is like, wow, she's on me like this. All right. And then, like you said, she's a chameleon. So somehow she maneuvered around and blended in, didn't show her true colors, and then got him. Got you. Smoke.
I really don't know to say that. Like, I can understand that being a fear.
So she marked him.
But I think that if you're scared, you shouldn't be dealing with nobody.
What you mean scared?
Like, you know, scared to take that leap of faith. Like,
and I agree, Boom. But, you know, when you got to look at the statistics, you got to look at the mathematic of it, right? If 50% of marriages end in divorce, so you already know when you get into your marriage, and we just looking at, because we just talking about New York, I just know that state, instant child support. So you know that 50% of marriages end in divorce. So with that being said, now you take the 50 and then you put it to our community, people that's our shade, right? You start looking at those numbers even different, because 80% of those divorces are filed by our women. So when you start to really do the math, you're like, yo, is this a good deal? Like, what's the chances of this even working? I believe in marriage. I'm pro-marriage. But I do look at it like I understand when men have their apprehensions because it's like, yo,
but they have
what would happen?
They have to also, come in with the right intentions too. The man and the woman. A lot of times, I get it that the women are filing the divorce, but what is being the cause of a lot
So
of
that's
filing the
that's data as well. So the data also says with the reason why a lot of women are filing divorce now, infidelity is up there, right? But then what's also up there too is the irreconcilable differences, where you just not happy. The moment irreconcilable differences became an actual thing for women to file, divorce rates skyrocketed in most states in the United States. So that should have never been a thing, but because it's something that is a part of why women could file, it's just, I'm not happy. I know plenty, in my own anecdotal experience, I know plenty of men that got divorces just straight off of the woman saying, I'm not happy. And them not being happy, the whole family got to be over with. Because your happiness trumps family. Men are not like that. So if you ask me now, if we look at that data and we put that on the table, are men going into marriages with good faith? Yes. Because we're not leaving. It's not a whole bunch of cheating going on like people think. Women, matter of fact, the studies actually show that women and men cheat roughly at the same rate. So we can't blame cheating on that, right? We have to now look at it like, okay, why is these divorces really happening? Oh, well, I have higher expectations for my husband. I expected him to be a CEO in the next 5 to 10 years, and he's not. Or he's not taking me on the trips that I want to. Or he's not, the man that I thought that he would have became. He's not Prince Charming anymore.
I think most of them are financial situations.
I'm going to want to agree with you.
Definitely transactional. Let me give y'all the rest of the video so y'all can make y'all conclusion on this Tyrese situation.
Me, and she's trying to take my life with her.
Yes.
It does not work that way.
That's exactly how it works.
We have a prenuptial agreement that was extremely aggressive and very detailed.
Okay.
And we both gladly signed it because I was sold and oversold on all the shit that she's not interested in. So when the fuck did you suddenly become interested?
Do you think social media played a role?
I can't answer anything for her. I can't put no words. I'm saying from a first person experience, I don't know who the fuck you are right now.
But for men at your level, you catching the short end of it with $20 a month.
I'm not paying that. That's what they're trying to get.
He said, I'm not paying that.
Hey, that is hilarious.
I'm
trying to figure out Joe. Go ahead, Boom.
No, go ahead.
I'm just trying to figure out, is Joe Budden just playing devil's advocate? Because it just doesn't seem logical. I don't care if it was, I can't say if it was $5,000, okay, cool. But again, it don't take $5,000 to take care of a child. We have to, I guess, be in the courtroom like, well, what is all this covering? This $20,000? Is this kid, building spaceships or something? Like, what is he doing that he needs $20,000? He or she needs $20,000 a month. So for me to listen to Joe Budden like cosign for, you got to take care of her to $20,000. Like, again, we weren't spending $20,000 a month as a family, as a unit. Why would I give her more than what we were living off of to begin with? That's crazy.
That's girl, man.
You got to triple your paycheck just so you can maintain your house that you currently have, and then give her $20,000. So that means if he says, again, if it was $11,000 to maintain their household with everything that went on in the house, she didn't have to lift a finger. Now I got to pay almost double that alone just for her. So you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's $11,000 for him. That's crazy. Another $11,000 and then almost another $11,000 for her. I mean, double. That's
right. It's crazy. What he's really doing is paying her mortgage. He's buying groceries. He's also paying for her nails, her hair, her trips. He's also taking care of everything at $20,000 a month. That's $200,000 a year.
I don't even know what daycare they would put the child in that would actually cost that much. I mean, the child is 2 years old.
Yeah, we got to see a breakdown, and then you got to get a judge on here, a child support judge on here, or something, because we need for real breakdown. Say, okay, I see where you're coming from, judge. No, that doesn't make any sense. Like I said, this stuff just seems so arbitrary and made up, where it's like we need some answers.
Sorry, Boom.
No, I was just gonna say I can understand that number kind of going up as the child gets older, because
20,000 going up.
No. I'm saying like up to 20,000. Like, as the child gets older, like they have more needs, like sports and different things that they're into.
Now
you already know. Like, hey, where's your friends at?
No. Okay, look. Scratch the 20,000. What I'm saying, like, okay, let's say he paid $5,000 right now, right? So 5,000. That's good. But as the child gets older and the child is going to school, now this is Tyrese Gibson's child, so the child would be going to a particular school, right? So now it has to go up because the child is in school, and that needs to be covered. Does that make sense? What I'm saying now?
Yeah.
Wait.
It's normal, but what the panelist was, the other guy, one of the other guys on the microphone, he was saying the expenses, like expenses were already covered in the original house. So whatever expenses, like, okay, the kids get new tuition. You want to join Boy Scouts. You want to play football for Snoop Dogg's team. And then he want to get a charger for his first car. That still is not, we see incremental growth with the numbers, but not. It's just normal expenses, though. Not,
a month. This is a month. This isn't a year.
It's a month, but tuition is monthly unless you pay it.
And also, Boombox, why on earth does he have to pay the mom that for her to pay the school? Why not just say, okay, just like if I pay child support, usually they factor in doctor medical bills in that, right? So usually when something happens, I get the bill. I have to pay it. So why not factor in, okay, the kid goes to school 10 months out the year. Tyrese, here goes every auto draft, paperwork, all that stuff that's needed in order for that child to school's tuitions to be paid. Why do I got to give it to you? You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be part of the child support order.
She's a broker,
and that should be and that should be even in half, right? Because we made this kid 50-50. So I should still only be paying half. So if the tuition is $5,000 a month, which is mostly high-end schools, if it's $5,000 a month, I pay $2,500, you pay $2,500, $5,000, here goes the tuition.
But that's
why am I paying the whole thing?
But that's only covering the tuition. What about the other necessities?
Send me the bill.
Yeah, I mean, no, but that's either way, sending the bill or not, it's still child support.
But the thing is,
I know it's being paid for that.
Or you do
right.
Wait,
go ahead.
You can say that again.
Some states have the child support card where it shows the transaction, so the court can see that the mom ain't out here buying Louis Vuitton purses and stuff that doesn't pertain to the child.
Yeah,
because you want to keep up with the carpool line.
Most states have that.
So it's food, tuition, school activities, things of that nature. So if you see, foolishness on there, they'll be like, man, you can't buy, jewelry on this. What are you doing?
But Rance, let me ask you a question, Rance. Mm-hmm. In those states, though, what's to stop the mom from doing that?
I don't know.
Well,
and that's why we need.
Okay, as a parent that has had child support on the mom end, you can't buy certain things. You can buy clothes, you can buy shoes, but some things you just can't buy. Some even food you can't buy certain food.
Yeah, I think it's like maybe the EBT thing where they know you can't come in here buying liquor and stuff like that on the EBT card. As long as it's
No, you can't buy anything like that.
Right.
Liquor on the EBT.
You can't buy liquor. You can't buy
hookah
tobacco
and brunches on there. They be like, "Nah, mom, you can't."
The liquor could be for the kid. What's that called? A hot toddy? Y'all heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I never heard of that.
For the kid. You never heard of that? Where you put a little bit of liquor in the, what is it? In the
juicy Capri Sun?
Okay, we're not talking about that.
A hot toddy. I don't know. An older lady told me about it, so
y'all don't forget to like and subscribe over on Intellect Ignited page, and we'll be happy to have you. Okay, and if you like to comment, please comment in the chat.
Definitely. And also, you guys that are on here, definitely always check out my man GMT show, as you already do. But also check out my man Rance's Hey Driver shirt. I just definitely got to put that on there. But back to the next video that I want to hear what some females have to say about this.
Gotta put Rance's webpage.
Don't tackle me for this, because I know you bitches love to tussle. But my heart goes out to the man that's in their child's life that's still on child support because you on welfare. That shit is outrageous. If you couldn't have a baby and take care of it by yourself, or even look, just like if you can't buy it twice, don't buy it. If you can't take care of it twice or on your own, don't have it. The fuck is going on? Y'all is crazy out here. It is man out here that's on child support. That's whole in the child life. Whole there. On child support. Whole main provider on child support. Y'all be is giving very much you felt as a woman. I don't know. Figure it out. I know
too.
She failed with that hairstyle.
Yeah, and those little, what is it? Those, what's that? Pins in her eyes? I'm scared.
No, yo, this is crazy. But she was valid though. She had some real valid points though. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of men out here paying child support.
But no, I'm just saying she did, but I mean, there's still a strong possibility. Like sometimes the father can be present, but then she may need his help, and he is not able to really help her, or they're young and they have a child at a young age, and that stems the welfare system as well, because the father, he's still trying to find his way, and so he can't really help provide like he needs to, and sometimes that's how they end up in the system like that.
But so what the young lady was saying though, Boombox, was don't have the child.
Yeah,
if you
don't
can't pay it twice. Don't do it.
If you can't do it, don't. But a lot of people do it. A lot of people get in that space where they're in the system because they did have a child. Maybe their beliefs pushed them to have that kid, and then now you're in the system, and the father is also in the system too because he's not able to help as he should.
Yeah. So and so that's like what's happening, right? But then what I believe the young lady was trying to do with the orange hair was talk about the preventative methods. So what she was saying, okay, yeah, we can't help y'all who did that. That's done, right?
Right.
It's over. Now with the mindset of if you can't pay it twice, don't have it. What she's trying to say right there is, young ladies coming up, if you can't afford to have a child and the sole thing is going to be like, well, what could a man do for me? Even though I know that man is at least going to be in my child's life, don't have the kid. So she's more worrying about the future than today.
Right.
I think that's what we should
be able to take care of the kids.
I don't disagree with what she's saying. I'm just saying some people fall victim whether they can or can't. They fall victim to their circumstances because of their beliefs. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense a little bit, but not really. What's up, JJ?
I do agree with what the young lady is saying. I'm not disagreeing. She's giving advice. Like my point of view is, if you can't do it on your own without a man, don't do it. But then you still got to think about the ones that have the belief in their mind because they grew up a certain type of structure to where it's that's forbidden. No matter what you're going through.
You're talking about AB, right? AB is forbidden.
Yeah.
So practice safe sex. That's where I get it. But that's why I'm solely with the future, right? What I always try to say is like the future, because these girls, you're right. I get what you're saying. Like these girls they're having sex, they're getting pregnant. This is just gonna happen, and it's just part of life. But when we look at it like under our voices, who should we talk to, right? Because those girls don't care. They're gonna do what they do. The guys don't care either. They just gonna skeet up and get anybody pregnant. It is what it is. But somebody under our voice would say, you know what? I'm not trying to be like that because I can't afford it. So those are the ones that we gotta I believe, try to talk to, because they're the ones that are the real future of not making so many mistakes frivolously. They'll marry before they carry. They'll even have sex responsibly. Not just because you have sex don't mean you got to get pregnant. And that's what I believe our community gets twisted. It's just like, oh, I had sex. Oh, I gotta get pregnant now.
I got pregnant, and now I'm looking for somebody to raise me as well. That's basically what it boils down to. And this is the thing that really boils my blood about this whole situation. You know that you need that man's money, and sometimes women plan to do this. Like they see a guy, they're like, I can deal with him, but really what I'm after is what he has, because I'm not doing nothing with my life. So, I can go ahead and sap some of his energy, sap some of his resources. And guess what? If I didn't have his resources, I'd probably be holding a sign out here on Sugar Creek, and
Sugar Creek.
Yeah, Sugar Creek, the baddest of the bad. We got to take it there. The baddest of that's not okay.
Is that the worst area in Charlotte? I thought it was like Betty's Ford.
Nah, Betty's Ford.
Betty's Ford too, but
Betty's Ford is a level above it. I will say that.
Sugar Creek is a whole nother world.
Right. We're talking about Charlotte, North Carolina, for you guys that
aren't. Those that are already in Charlotte.
I'm sorry. But please avoid that exit, unless you want to see something strange for a piece of change happening.
Right.
Anyway, so I got this next guy up, and I don't agree with him at all, but you guys can tell me what you think.
Active mother and an active father got two different definitions. God. Active mother, trenches.
Hey, he's an idiot. I'm gonna tell you what, but that's just my opinion.
He physically makes my ass itch.
Yeah, I never seen him before, but when I seen this, I said I have to talk about this. Like I want to slap him through the. I want to just pop. Okay.
Nah, come on.
Yeah, no. I want to pass him.
I don't even know what he's gonna say. Let's see.
Oh, we're gonna see.
Day in, day out, 24/7. Active mother, PTA meetings, soccer practice, football practice, reading, teaching, homework. Active mother, cook, clean, rear. Active mother, active father, he come over on weekends. Active father.
Shut your stupid ass up.
About good for two. Active father, he FaceTimes every once in a while. Different definitions, different standards. Just because you an active father don't mean you pulling your motherfucking weight. You active enough to take pictures, but are you 24/7? Do you know his teacher's name? Do you know what his grade point average is? You know what size shoe your kid wear? You know what prescription his glasses is? When is his next doctor appointment? Quit calling yourself a motherfucking active parent, active father just because you post motherfucking pictures on social media once or twice a month. Just because you're not in the household don't mean your influence isn't felt on a daily basis inside the household.
What I got something for him. No, I got something for him. You know what I'm saying? I definitely got something for him. Everything he said made absolutely no sense. It was a whole bunch of weird.
What do you mean?
Listen. First of all, for him to say something about an active father doesn't do any of that stuff. And okay, you know what an active father looks like. He does beyond that stuff he didn't even name.
No, he's not saying that there isn't fathers that do that. He's talking about the fathers.
No, he made a plain bold statement about this is what an active father does.
But they're really, being part-time. Like, do you really know your child? That's basically
not what he said. I don't know.
Listen. This is what he's saying, right? He's okay. First of all, you got to know the man. Right. You got to know the man. You got to know the character. He is a Super Saiyan simp. Like, he is simp to the umpteenth level, right? He gets his money off of an audience full of women. He's on tonight's conversation. So you got to know who you're dealing with. This is why he talks so aggressive and he spits all over his mic. And he's like, oh, and he gets his arms out. Yeah, and I'm telling you guys, and you guys, this is why he does that, right? Let me show you why. He does it because he knows he's going to feed his pockets through women's emotions. That's the whole reason why. So here's what he was just saying in a nutshell. You guys that are not active fathers, meaning that, as we spoke about earlier, a lot of these women are the reasons why men are not in relationships, because they're leaving the relationships. And the fact that they're leaving the relationships now, I can't be an active father like I might want to be. Do you know how hard it is some of these women? Yeah. Do you know how hard it is that some of these women make it for these men to even deal with their children? Then you're talking like that. How active could I be if I'm not there 24/7 because you left?
Well, no, you can still be active just because a person.
How active?
Now, a person making it hard for you to be active is one thing, but actually trying to, balance out the new
situation. It'll never be the same.
So it will never be the same, but you can still be active, like communicating with your child in the morning, communicate with your, like, know their moves, so that way you will be more active. Because like I do agree with what he said is your presence should still be felt, whether you live in the home or not. You should basically still have a heavy impact in your child's decision.
No, that's not true.
What I would gather from that, and apparently he's not. I don't know this guy as far as like his home life or whatever, but I would be the person that he's talking about, because I'm on the road 6 days out the week, but I don't know all those things. I know allergies, things like that, kids' shoe size and stuff like that. But the dynamic has shifted to where dads are more involved than they used to be, because it used to be dad worked down at the Ford factory and from sun up to sundown. And
16-hour shifts.
Providing. Exactly. And you was providing, and you may go fishing with your kid or work on the car, and then you was out Monday morning or go to church. You know what I'm saying? So that dynamic has shifted to what he probably saw his dad doing and thinking that that's how it's supposed to be, or listen to a bunch of women, talking. And my dad, my child's father, my husband, he don't know the kid's shoe sizes, but he's out working, so you can go to the store to buy those first day of school shoes and all those things. So there's going to be a trade-off, because there's just going to be a trade-off where you're providing that lifestyle for the mom to know all those things. And but all that crap is data. You can learn it. I can learn my child's prescription. I do take my kids to the doctor. I do go to the dentist appointments, X, Y, and Z, but I'm not going to know every cavity they have and this and that, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not going to make all the school PTA meetings and the school plays and basketball games, stuff like that. But they have a roof over their head and they got Wi-Fi whenever they want it. So there's going to be a trade-off to your presence if you're providing that lifestyle.
Right.
And that goes for both parents too, honestly. I mean, mom would have to make a few more sacrifices as far as making sure doctor appointments and stuff like that are made, unless there's a balance and dad is able to take the child to the doctor's appointments.
Yeah, yeah. And I try my best to be home while I was to pick my kids up from school. That's just something I like doing. Even like I said, we don't know this guy, so we could sit here and look back and be like, oh yeah, dude, you have no clue about what it's like. Somebody telling you what it's like being married, and they ain't never had a serious relationship in their life. They know how it is, what it takes to be married. And I'm like, okay. So take whatever he said with a grain of salt, because you can look at somebody like Tyrese or any entertainer or LeBron James. These guys have away games. They're gone for weeks, months, whatever. You on tour. You in Japan doing God knows what. You ain't going to take your kids to the doctor. You're going to miss a shit ton of Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that. Or you deployed overseas in the military, you know. So, like I said,
And Ranch, the way I look at it too is, he's saying active father.
Let me welcome Penny to the show.
What's up, Penny? How you doing, Penny?
Okay. There we go. Do that.
How y'all doing?
How you doing? Glad to have you on here.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Penny. I know you just got in the door, so appreciate you dropping in.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
All right. GMT, go ahead. Go bless us with them bars you about to drop.
So when you talk like the active father, right? You start looking at what he's saying. Like, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a minute there. But I got you. What he was saying about an active father, you can be as like, I'm personally, I work all the time. My wife stays at home, right? So do I know everything that my son is going through? No, I don't. But do I know his doctor's name like that? I don't attend his doctor's appointments because I work a lot. Just like Rance was saying, I'm still the man that's actually pulling a ton of hours, plus my businesses, plus everything else that I have going on. But I provide a house, I provide everything for them to live comfortable. And then when you still look at the data with the CDC statistics say, now I'm guessing he's talking about black men because that he's black. When you talk like that, you're not looking at the actual data that the CDC says black men are the most involved fathers in their children's lives. And that statistic was actually entered by black women. It wasn't even men that took those surveys. It was women. So this is why I'm saying when I see men like him, he makes my ass itch because he's one of those guys that literally just talks because he knows his female audience is going to support it. They're going to feed his bottom line. Other than telling women, you know what? If you have a great man in your life, be grateful because there's some men out there that ain't ish. Be thankful that you do have a man that's trying. Because there's some men that don't even try.
That's true.
Right. Okay. Hey, let's go ahead and give her a round of applause for popping in.
What up, Nuke?
I think your mic working? No, she's still getting it together. Okay. Penny, what do you think an active man is in their kids' lives? Hello?
She get her mic together.
Oh no! I was talking to you, Penny.
What do you think is an active father, and do you think an active father is the same or close to an active mother?
That's a great way to put it.
I think an active father is one that's trying and that's actually involved in the kid's life. Time is more important than financial to me, honestly. I feel like so a father that actually spends time with the child to try to teach the child from a man's point of view. Now, I do feel that a lot of black men are active, but not active in the same standpoint as a mother. the mother handles all the day to day. I feel like the father just comes in and they're active person. I mean, what they feel is active is just maybe like showing up at a sports event that they're having, or showing up when the mother says, well, hey, I need you to do this, or placing them in certain places in the kid's life. The mother has to be there 24/7, day in and day out. The father can pick, I feel like, picks and choose, or can pick and choose when they want to be active, pretty much. So I feel like an active father is just one that's actually present in the kid's life for the most part, but not on the same level as the mother at all.
Okay, it sounds like what I'm hearing is that there aren't many dads that do the same type of things that a mom does for the kid. That's what it sounds like to me. But
not unless it's a single father.
Oh.
And then that means they have no other choice but to show up at all times. If they're not in a position where they're forced to show up at all times, no.
But isn't it like that for the mom? Because if the mom usually is the one that gets the kid, does that mean that she's forced? Because if the dad never comes back, it's your responsibility.
No, they tell you when you get pregnant, automatically it's mama's baby, daddy's maybe. So the mama automatically, when she chooses to give life, yeah, she's forced at that point.
Yeah, so both people can be forced.
But the father, I'm saying a father can still be present in the home and in the child's life, but still not as active as the mother.
Right.
They still
that's what I was saying. I agree with that.
Situations to
I
be
agree
involved.
with that, but we got to look at why is the dad not there? It's not like he's out shooting dice and running around with loose women.
Mother works too.
At work, yeah. I get that, but sometimes the dad may have to work longer hours or do different things, or work a second job again to provide that lifestyle. Because
but if the mother does carry the same weight,
the dad wants to be home just as much, but he can't afford to. And I think that a lot of women wouldn't want to trade that position and be like, hey, well, I'll take this job where I get to come home, at 2:30 in the afternoon and do all the things that you do, and you can stay out till 6 at night and come home when homework is done and bath time, and you get I don't think anybody would want to do that. And I totally agree with what you're saying, and that is how the dynamic is, because I'm personally missing a lot now being on the road. Hopefully it's temporary, but hey, the kids can't say they don't have. And if I have to take anything lesser, they're going to see a lot more of me, but we might have to move.
But I think it's more than that. Even with me knowing your situation, like, I think it's more than that. You know what's going on. You know the ins and outs. You know when he gets in trouble. You know when he's doing good. And
that's what I was going to say.
It's almost like a boss and an assistant manager or supervisor is like, well, you report back and say, hey, the kid's got 2 cavities. This is their doctor. Blah blah blah. And all that stuff can be learned.
And you still get off the road and still handle response after being gone for a while. You still handle those responsibilities. You may have to run them to wherever.
Yeah, and then there may not a dig at my wife, but you got a lot of moms out here that they're there, but they're not active.
Right. Mentally not active.
Do is get her a drink after work and sit there on TikTok and then yell at the kids this and that for about 3-4 hours until it's time to go to bed, and then she popping melatonin so she can watch Sisters. That's not being active. You ain't taking the kids nowhere on the weekends because you want to go to brunch and Sunday fun day. And the kids, you could be out there doing, going to Comic-Con or doing whatever else with the kids. Just because you're there don't mean you active either.
And all you hear is mama need a break too.
Mama need a break. When you look at that screen time and then say 12 hours of TikTok, you be like, what you doing? That's a
not the screen time.
Break is that?
Oh, he done broke it
down. Break was that?
You can go to your phone and look at screen time, and I'm sure it's 15 hours of screen time. You could have took a whole real estate class. Or become a paralegal in the time some people be on their phone in a week.
Sit there on their phone. Facts.
That's facts.
Stay
off them phones, women.
I'm in for the
I agree with y'all. I agree with like what Penny said too. With no matter how you look at it, a man is never going to be the same as a mom. Like,
the
and
value
that's roles. Like, when you have a family let's say you have the family dynamic, the average family dynamic of mother, father, child. There's no way, because one has to work more than the other if you want to maintain a certain lifestyle, like Rance was saying. So in no way am I, even if my wife was working, it'll still equal to her doing more for the child and with the child than me, because I'm not a nurturer by nature. I'm naturally a provider. So even if she did have to go to work, I'm still going to work on providing at least 30% more than what she's bringing in the house.
Look how you just named that, though. You just said mother, father, child. Naturally, that's just how it goes.
I don't agree with it, though.
No, naturally, that's just how it goes.
I don't agree with it.
I was waiting for his
You see how I just naturally, without even thinking about it. Mother, father, child.
Because how I look at it, though, is really God, father, child. I mean, God, father, mother, child. That's the order I believe a family dynamic is actually when I look at it and I add God in it, right? So I believe that's how life is supposed to be. But in our community, unfortunately, it is very much the woman over the man is how it's usually preached. But, that's not how I believe it.
Suppose that child gets sick, the father calling the mom, like, hey, he got a fever. What?
Usually I do. When I'm home with my son, usually I do. I'll call her like, yo, listen, our son is sick. What do I do? And she'll be like, oh, we have medicine over here. Go get the medicine there. Da, 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 da. But guess what? She don't even know who the mortgage company is. She has no idea, you know what I'm saying, how much the water bill is this month.
That's a rare case.
Yes, I agree. I'm not the average case. I understand that. But in cases where it's a family dynamic, usually the man does put in more work than the woman. On average, men make more than women. So, even in a family dynamic, it's average. CDC says that. So on average, the average man makes $56,000 a year. The average woman makes $51,000 as of 2024's latest data updates.
Okay.
Right.
So that's just, and even in the family dynamics, men still make more. The husband usually makes more than the woman. So we provide more.
All right. So let's see, Sam. I got another one for you guys. So tell me what you think.
These are the things men do to dodge child support. Number one, they tell their job to pay them under the table. So it'll look like he ain't working. He ain't getting no income. Number two, they start saying they can't take care of themselves. They got to pay their own bills. They got to live. They got to eat. Well, the child got to eat too. Number three, they make you look like a bad woman. They go tell everybody around town that you ain't taking care of your kid. You ain't no good mama. You ain't no good woman. You want to take advantage of me? So everybody can feel sorry for him and everybody get mad at you. Number four, he get his hours cut. He only doing it so the judge can feel sorry for him and lower the child support payments. That way he can keep more money while you get little money. Or he thinking the judge ain't gonna charge him nothing.
So I don't know what. So I believe this works with levels. I don't know what type of levels of men he hang around with, and usually that's you see what I'm saying. People's perspective only goes as high as who they mess with.
As your company, right?
Right.
So, the number one is really like they try to get paid under the table, or they have a job like a part-time job or something like that, and they have another whatever that is paying cash money.
But you have to do that though. I don't believe in quitting a job. I don't want y'all to ever think that I believe that a man should duck out of his responsibility. No. But in most cases, right, what I see, like, I'm gonna give you the perfect example. I'm not talking about, it's a former employee, so he's no longer one of my employees, right? But what he was doing was he worked a regular job. So child support was getting more than half of his check. How can he survive off of that? So what he ended up having to do was now go and get a second job under the table so he could make more money. Now, through the court system, they will require him to also report that too. But then how can he live? So yeah, I do understand men having to do certain things to make more, not to give it all. because the court system does not favor the man. Now, ducking out of it is a problem, right? That's where I'm like, nah, men should never do that. But pay your portion, pay your share, pay what.
I feel like that we shouldn't even need child support.
That's what I feel. Now you barking up what I want to talk about. I feel like child support shouldn't be there.
I feel like we don't even need it.
And then okay. So I'm gonna go around the panel real quick, and I'm gonna ask you guys, why do you feel like child support shouldn't be needed? And then I'll give you my take last.
Are you saying it should not be needed?
It should not. Child support shouldn't exist. But you tell me your thoughts on it.
Start with me.
Yep.
Yeah, I think child support should exist.
You do? Okay. Why?
Yeah. Because you have to help the mother pay for the expenses of the child.
You almost made me break my neck a little bit. So this is oh no, go ahead. See, you almost made me jump the line. All right. No, I ain't gonna do it today. All right. Next. Who wanna go next? Who wants to go next on this?
Go, Penny.
Oh, go ahead, Penny.
I feel like it shouldn't exist because, of course, the father needs to help to pay his portion, to take on the responsibilities of the child. But why does there have to be a government entity that makes him do that? By naturally, once they both chose to bring a life in this world, he should automatically step up and know that that is a joint responsibility.
He should know that.
So no, but I'm gonna ask you this. Sometimes, in some cases, mother and father, we could say when they was having intercourse that they were both reckless, right? Because they both may have. But usually, when it comes down to the moment the woman decides to keep the baby, it is her body, her choice. But some cases, not all, but some cases, the man might say, "Hold up, I know we were both reckless, but I don't agree with this." Do I feel as if the man should still pay child support? Yes. But, because you was reckless, you made that decision. But unfortunately, why it does need to exist is to hold those men accountable, right? The ones that are saying like, yo, I'm not going to pay. But does it need to be altered? Meaning that looking at what the father's actually doing for the child, yes. The child support system is flawed.
So only reason I don't agree with that is because when we have this in place, right? Do you know how many men are on child support? The money is not getting paid, but all of us that work, our taxpayer dollars is paying for this system, but the money is still not coming in. Like, I can speak for my situation, right? My kid's father's been on child support, just say 18 years. In 18 years, I probably got $1,000, right? So in 18 years, only money I've gotten is when you actually get locked up. Boom, again, I'm paying for that too because I work, okay? So it's like the money that I get out of it, really, I'm still paying for it, if that makes sense. So I'm not.
But your case is not average. Your case isn't average though. So your case,
most men that are child support, the women is either getting the minimum or they're not getting anything at all.
I agree with the minimum.
Yes, or nothing at all. So at the end of the day, the woman is still working and paying these taxes. So are we getting what we're putting in? We're paying for this service, or are we benefiting anyway? Like, it balances out at the end of the day.
Yeah, they do. They charge. Yeah,
it benefits the court system more than it benefits the mom. Yeah, they take out their state fees, and this is why in any case scenario, it's we're like this: men protect your seed. I can't talk to the women. I can talk to the men. Protect your seed.
Now we start pulling assets, cars, anything that they want. They think they can have, apartments, things like that. Then maybe we might see something.
What's your thoughts, GMT? Or that was part of it?
Well, she said if they pull cars and assets, I mean, those are all physical things. The child needs like actual cash money in hand to be raised, right? So yes, as the child support system shouldn't exist because and you're saying it in the way of because the man is supposed to know his responsibility. Unfortunately, just as the woman was reckless, the man is reckless as well. So that's why it's in place to hold the men that say, you know what? Me and you can't even make an agreement with each other physically. I can't even see eye to eye. And this, like I said earlier, in New York, it's automatically the man pays child support. Because when I got divorced in New York, my first marriage, I had to pay child support just because I got a divorce. It wasn't that I wasn't an active father. It wasn't that I didn't do anything. It was just like I'm physically with my kid every day, but I still had to pay child support. So this is why it needs to be revamped and figured out in a different way. But yes, it should still hold those men that's like kind of like how you said your baby father, he shouldn't have been paying $1,000 in 18 years. That's crazy.
Nah, I mean, my child father was ordered to pay $50 or $75 for 2 each month, and I wasn't even getting that. And
so then the child support.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, Rance. Go ahead.
And that's why I want to know where they get these numbers from, because you feel it's a percentage of your pay, and it goes back to the video that you just played as to why people, So, but again, where these judges get these numbers from, and to the lady, I got 2 friends that they don't go through the court. They just say, I got one buddy, he pays his ex-wife $2,000 a month. They have 2
That's
children.
how I need it.
And she's a registered nurse, so she's okay financially, but that $2,000 covers, the expenses for whatever, help her out, but it's more so for the kids, So he don't know what she do with the money, but the kids don't need for anything, So that's how I think it should go. That's where I would want it to go. That I ain't got, the judge intervening and making up this arbitrary number just because, this is what truck drivers supposed to make a year, so we're going to go off the top scale for a truck driver, and I might not make that. They just know that this is an average for truck drivers, and they based on the national average, not a South Carolina average. You know what I'm saying?
It's only based off income that could be accounted for.
Right. So
or potential income too. So in a lot of states, they do potential income. So let's say like I made $100,000 last year, but I lost my job, and this year I started maybe working again, right? But in the same industry. And they say, well, you still have the potential of making $100,000. There's plenty of men, especially the state of Texas, where they're like, because you have that potential, I'm going to charge you off that $100,000 that you was making last year.
Oh, that's what they did to Tyrese.
You don't even make it now.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. They don't care. Like when men are trying, those are the men that get screwed.
Yeah.
Right. And this is
why. That's the reason why the wife left, because you ain't reached your potential. So she's like, I'm out. You CEO like you said you was going to be.
Right. Right.
So I think that I believe that child support shouldn't be a thing. But like GMT said, there's, carelessness being taken place early on. And so a lot of times the guy, it's fun. It's a fun thing we're doing, right? And then something happens. But then when it ends, the guy ends it right there. And then it's just like, maybe he's going, making another family, or, being careless with somebody else. And so then the child is not getting what they need from that parent. And that's what makes child support necessary.
Right.
I think they need to put time in there too, not just financial.
Yeah. And so like with this new policy,
but you can't force that though. If the guy don't want to take care, you don't want to be there, you don't want to be there. They can't force that.
And that's another reason why I believe that it's necessary. So it's like, okay, but with the new policy that they're saying, they're trying to put in place, like to ban abortions, right?
AB.
YouTube.
Oh man.
My bad.
That's like
YouTube,
JK to me. I didn't know what you were saying.
AB. Ban AB. You can't do that without also reprimanding both ends. So it's like, okay, well, either you have to make the father be a father at this point, or you have to automatically force the father to pay a specific amount, a certain starting amount for that child. And that will also help with canceling out a lot of
there's a lot of we had a feedback like almost like a fan noise or something like that.
Yeah, I hear it. Who it is?
It's not.
Mute everybody. Mute everybody one by one, and then you can hear it.
It's Penny.
It's Penny. No, well, Rance and Penny both did it at the same time.
Oh.
Okay, but that's coming from Penny, not Rance.
Oh yeah.
I think it's your fan or something. Like it's kind of like
that box fan.
No, she got the industrial fan. Happy with that wind effect. All right, so you guys ready? You guys ready? All right. So what I gotta say is it should not be, child support shouldn't exist. And this is why I'm gonna do the Trump hands. This is why. First of all, it's weaponized against the male. It's weaponized. This is the go-to button for females when something doesn't go right. And I'm talking about bitter females. When they're bitter, they played around, they didn't get to win. Now all of a sudden, they just the only power, they have the little shred of power left in dignity. Because guess what? Oh, I can't get you to do what I want you to do. I bet you I'll put this fuel on you and set you on fire. You're going to go ahead and be on child support. I've watched so many videos where the girl is, you know what? You don't want to do this? Boom. $2,000. Like, I don't even make that. Where are you getting these numbers from? Like you said, these arbitrary numbers, like, boom, $9,000. Just like the girl, boom, $20,000. And that's like, you're not, now what you've done is aggravated that dad. He don't want nothing to do with you. You probably made it even harder to get him on his weekends. It's so much rigmarole that happens with it. Now this is my solution. This is my solution. Like that girl said about the if you can't make twice the amount, don't have a kid. Like now I know it's gonna be hard, people. These hormones are raging. You're having fun with somebody, you're vibing. But now check this out. See, it doesn't really hit the male until it's too late. Sometimes he gets this aha moment, you know, that, oh, I had too much fun and I didn't have fun the right way. And for the female, when she gets her aha moment is, oh man, I'm actually pregnant now. And this dude stopped coming over. So now those feelings are festering. Next thing you know, baby comes, and now balls in her court. Why? Because court. You get it? Balls in her court. I did that. So now, I played on words a little bit, but so my solution is, fathers, number one, you have a kid, go for joint custody immediately. Now the other thing they need to really change is, wait, hold on 1 second. Let me knock this out the park. If the father makes enough money and you need my money for child support, if I say, you know what, you shouldn't be the custodial parent. Because guess what? I can handle everything. You're asking me for money. Guess what? I can give him time. I can give him money. Because guess what? No matter what household you're in, I still know what's going on. Guess what? We're in the future. We have what's that app called? That parent app where you can see all the grades. You can see what they're doing. You can see when they turn their homework. You can see what they're in parent school.
Parent Square, yeah.
Power school. There it goes. You can see when the bus comes. You can see all that stuff. You know, you at GMT, you say you work a lot, but you know when special events come for your son. You know that. You put him in the bed still. They don't give us enough credit for being active. That's nothing. But like I said, they don't. It automatically is set up for the male to be pushed out. That's what it's set up for. And women fall for the bait because they think that they got the grand power. But not only are they hurting the male, they're hurting the kid. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, child support, if you're not getting it, then you're not winning. And it doesn't matter because you're still not getting it, whether it's there or not. But if the guy feels like, look, man, because some guys feel like I don't want to give her the money because they already know what she's going to do with it. She's lazy. And I'm not talking about all, but I'm talking about the males that are actually active. They're like, I work real hard. Now you get with another Pookie. Well, not another Pookie. Get with a Pookie. And now you're spending my money on him. My kid's still bottom of his shoes dirty.
He might be another Pookie.
Yeah. The shoes dirty. He still got the same clothes. His shirt is a belly shirt now. And you over here, you eating Chinese food every day. Why aren't you cooking? Why aren't you doing those things that they say an active mom does?
A belly shirt? A belly
shirt?
Yeah, like, you know.
Because guess what? Check this out. The kids might live with the mom, but the mom don't even know what size the shoes the kid wears. But I bet you the dad that's supposedly not active does. See, it does go like that sometime where, the mom will say, hey, I put dinner on the table tonight. And then the whole family's praising her, and that dad's a deadbeat. And then guess what? If your kid's smart and they can read, they can see the daddy's name is on that box. Because guess what? Mom was like, hey, I don't have nothing for my extra kids. Let me go ahead and ask you for it. But instead of giving the dad the credit, guess what? Even when you pay child support even if y'all get child support, I bet you the dude's still not going to get credit. I bet if the dude shows up to as many games as he can as possible, but he's still not going to get credit. I bet if he knows the grades, I bet he's still not going to get credit. I bet if he comes over and goes to, when the kid gets in trouble at school, shows up, I bet you're still not going to get credit. So what I say is, dudes, if you are fit enough to handle having the kid in your house and she can't, then if you need my money, then I feel like you're not financially fit. And no matter how much money you take from me, that's not going to help that kid. What it's going to do is going to help you still stay content where you're at. And you're not going to strive for anything because it's going to be like, now I have a form of income that I wouldn't have had if I didn't have this baby. And the baby's still not benefiting from it because the whole point of it is the kid needs to benefit from it. And I've seen from my own experience, a lot of women not take care of the kid with it. They take care of, they might go with their friends and do stuff with your money. So some guys are reluctant.
What Penny said earlier was actually on point, right? When she said that the average person that pays child support pays a lesser amount than most people think, right? So it's almost to the point where it's like, most fathers are paying like roughly $100, $200 a month in child support. Now, to sit there, and say like we can't compare ourselves to Tyrese because most men don't make his type of money.
Right.
So yeah, that is outrageous. But the average man ain't really paying that much. But it's a lot for him because he's not making that much. So
he is. He's not.
Right.
He is under the table. A man like that clip y'all just showed. Most time what they do, not all, but most time what they do is they're going to work under the table. They're going to quit their job so that they can get that lesser amount. Like in North Carolina, I know alone, if a man isn't working, they're going to start him off with $50.
$50. Even in New York, it's like that.
What is $50 going to do for a child? A month. Like, and then they will settle, okay, I'll work under a CPN or I'll work under the table or go back to the streets before I let them just take it out my check. That's how most of the men think.
But I don't think that's average though, Penny. No, I don't think you say when you say most. I need proof to hear majority, right? Like I don't really believe in us looking at anecdotal experiences and saying that most men are like that. I believe that a lot of men are like that, but I definitely won't say most. I believe most men are working their regular jobs, right? Whether it's at J.C. Penney's, hanging up clothes and taking out that little bit of child support. And he may have a second job to try to sustain himself. But I would not say most men, because
if he had a second job, because the thing is it's solely based off of your income. So even if he had a second job, then they would still be pulling.
I'm not reporting it though. That's why we say that's that under the table job.
What do you mean a second under the table job?
Now, if I work that regular, you can't pull it if I'm working under the table though, Because I'm going to tell you what job means. I'm right. No, so what I'm proving right now is that still the man, like I said earlier, that man has to still live. There's guys that I know that work the average job that got chopped. Listen, I'm an employer, right? Literally, you know where I work at, large telecommunications corporate. And in corporate, these guys, I know that some of them at the bottom rung, they're not making a lot of money. Child support is getting them for more than half of their check. But guess what? They still get up and come to work every day.
But they think that's all they
but well, whatever. However, the one thing that they don't do, y'all are right about, is they might not progress, meaning that they're not trying to go up in the company because they're like, man, the more I progress, the more money they're going to take. But what they're being forced to do, though, is now go work a second job so that way they could afford to live. Because the child support system is roughly supposed to be 15% of your check for your first child. And then after every child after that, depending on the state, could go to 10% to 5% every other kid after. Some of these kids, these jokers, have 5 kids with these women. So the what it's doing is destroying them financially.
But you know what? When you
they need to get another job.
When you sign up for child support in North Carolina, right? Before they even put a dollar amount on what the father owes, the first thing the judge says is, put you in a room and say, let's see if y'all can mediate and come up with something. Come up with a plan. So now that's where it comes in. If you can't sit in this room and we come up with something that's reasonable among us, then now you leaving it in their hands. So when the man decides he wants to allow that third party to control it because they can't be adults and come up with a common ground, then at that point, you can't sit here and be mad or angry and say, oh, they're taking from my money.
But you said it right, North Carolina. That's not the majority of states. So the majority of states are not like that. New York is not like that. LA is not like that. Texas is not like that. The most Texas allows you to do, they don't do mediation. The most Texas allows you to do mediation. Yes, so that's, you can ask for whatever, but if the judge is like, yo, this child still needs to be provided for, so throughout your mediation, you can figure it out, and maybe we could work out an amount between the mom. But the fact that you here, you still got to pay child support. And also, but the only thing that I agree with Texas, what they allow you to do is take a paternity test to make sure you're the father before you pay child support.
They do that too. I was going to say.
That's amazing. Because these other states, they don't do that. They just yo, the woman could just write your name on a paper, and you pay a child support.
Oh, that's dumb.
Well, in some cases, it's because they signed the birth certificate.
Yeah, that's what that means.
So in some cases, the stepdaddy pay child support. So
no, and that's a fact.
That's
it's
true.
Not even,
so I can change my stance based on Link's viewpoint, because I was basing it kind of on what my friends or my circle is going through versus women have been known to weaponize their child support issue on we look at high profile cases, we're like, hell no, I ain't paying $20,000 a month. But then again, you got the ones that only get away with paying $50. So my thing is, you probably need to charge the women for letting some of these dudes nut in you, because that's your fault to begin with. You should have used protection. I mean, that's crazy outside, if you're married, different story. Okay, we need to figure some things out, try to do it like I love how it does in North Carolina, where you can go handle it first, and then if you need to judge to handle it, mediate, then fine. But if you're just some couple at the nightclub and y'all met, and then here you go 9 months later, like, we made a mistake, you're like, both of y'all need to be putting in the account a child support account, and then y'all do what y'all, something of that nature, because that's crazy for them to just say, hey, you can pay this amount, or women can weaponize it because I don't like you no more because you cheated on me, or whatever the case may be. So
I think that's definitely the case of the bitter ex.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to
case by case.
Yeah, just
but men do that too. That's why they own it, because they was bitter. The woman ain't want them no more, so they like, I ain't gonna take care of the kid.
Right.
So when we look at because I didn't know about North Carolina and the mediator thing, right? But think about this, right? A mediator could say, okay, look at my salary. I make, let's just say a man makes the average $56,000 a year, right? And that's the average of all men. Black men actually make less than that. Black men on average make roughly $51,000 a year to black women's 48. So now we on the playing field of average. I'm bringing, okay, all I could really afford, because now I'm mediating across the table with my ex-wife. And we're saying, you make, all I could afford to pay you, since you have sole custody right now, is roughly $200 a month. I mean, not a month. It's roughly $200 a paycheck, which on average, that's bi-weekly. So $400 a month is all I could give you right now. That's all I could afford with my expenses. What if the woman now turns around and says, no?
Then you got to go to the judge.
Now that's what I'm saying. So the mediator might not work, because if I'm sitting here telling you what I could give you, and then I'm sure 90%, I don't have this percentage though, but I'm sure 90% of the time it don't, because you're not going to agree with me giving you the lesser.
Right.
Not necessarily. Some people, will go through with it because they really don't really want to be there, but they do need some type of compensation. Child.
Well, how much do you think? If I told you I was going to give you 200, but your expectations is 5, what do you think is going to happen? Most people, right, and most women are going to try to get as much as they can.
Or are you saying 500 bi-weekly or 500 a month?
Well, if I'm saying 400 a month and you're asking for, I'm saying $400 a month, and you might want that bi-weekly, $500 bi-weekly. So now you're asking for $1,000. All I could afford,
based on
looking at my expenses,
based on the 51K,
based on 51K
at 15%.
At 15%. No, we mediating now. We're mediating now. We're trying, because I still got other bills. I got my mortgage, or I might have a rent. I also might have other kids. I also might have a whole slew of stuff going on.
So in mediation in North Carolina, that they're gonna see what you should pay, and then they're gonna try to find a common ground. So they will also calculate the man's expenses. If there are any other children that live in the home with him that are his biological kids, they will also include the cost of taking care of that child that lives with them too. And then they'll do the same thing on the mother's end and balance it out like that. So there'll be a credit that the father will get if there's any children that live with him that belong to him biologically. And then the same for the mom. And so so then they're gonna say, okay, well, mom needs this. You know what I mean?
But is she sometimes trying to calculate in the car note and insurance, other little?
They don't calculate that. They don't calculate the car note. It's all home.
What about my Netflix bill? My Netflix, my Hulu account, my Disney Plus?
No.
That's what you want. That's not a need.
It's right.
I need that.
Right.
My kids want to watch that.
That's what you want.
Strictly utility, home, and the kids like that. It's strictly.
My kids got to drive around in the Benz. They need that.
Right.
I mean, mom does need a car because
she don't need no Benz.
It's an emergency and she needs to get the child to the hospital.
She got to maintain the same lifestyle that she had when you was in the home.
In the midst of the
as a baby daddy or as a husband, because that's still.
But if you move into the home and y'all have this kid and you buy her a Benz, now this is what she's accustomed to, because this is the lifestyle that you provided when y'all were together. Once you leave, you have to maintain that same lifestyle that you started. Don't start it.
Yeah,
PT Cruiser.
But that's what
family court. That's part of the divorce. That don't have anything to do when it comes to the child.
And that's what Tyrese's point was that we didn't spend that much money when we were together. Why are you charging me 2 times as much now? Because my thing is, if I leave this house and just say for $400, what GMT was saying, that covered after school activities, some daycare, whatever it covered for the kids, that they were fine. Whatever she got going in the house, that's her business. You ain't gonna be having Chips Ahoy cookies. Y'all gonna have to get them damn duplex cookies from the daycare. I don't know, but it ain't gonna be the same. But the kids are, but the kids are fine, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're gonna have to, eat some ramen noodles for a little while until you, as the mom, gonna have to figure out a way to make some more money. Because me leaving shouldn't have that much of an effect financially.
It shouldn't have that much of an impact.
Impact if I'm still providing that $400. Because if that's all that was needed for them, well, if I was paying daycare in the house and now I'm still paying daycare out the house, what else do you need?
I'm supposed to just be taking care of my child.
Yeah,
okay, let me ask you this question.
They're going to calculate the mom's.
Hold on. Let me ask you this question. This is going to be a controversial question. So if the mom decides to put the kid in extracurricular activities, every single one, and all of them costs, should the male agree to every single one because that's supposed to be looked at as
no
being productive,
as being a co-parent?
I think that I think that the parents should talk about what type of sports,
right, and what we can afford. Again, now because it comes into where the mom, she needs to be a damn dependent on my taxes if that's the case, because all you are is one of the kids at this point.
Hey,
you should be putting in on some of these activities. You're still a parent. I'm not. If we never had the dynamic of you're a stay-at-home mom, different story. But if you go to work just like I go to work, then you should be chipping in on the hair and barbershop and all the other stuff that was making the house run like it was before. Now, if I leave the house,
Bullbox makes every time.
But if I leave the house and even if I was still in the house and Junior wants to play hockey and rugby and basketball, that's fine, because it was going to happen when I was in the house, out of the house. But we was going to figure it out together, right? How we going to pay these bills? Now that I'm out of the house, now it's all on me just because I'm out of the house? No, we figure this out together. It's like she said, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's got to be discussed. I mean, and if you can separate without having to go to court, like that's the best option. Because who wants to really waste time out of their day going and sitting in a courtroom? You got to listen to everybody else's case until yours comes up and all of this, stuff.
That's exhausting.
I mean, really.
Some people don't mind. Right. Some people be in the court like it's the gym. Like they just go there every day. Like, I don't know. I'll be seeing. When you go into there, I'm taking my baby daddy to court.
This is a good comment.
When mom moves in the new dude, should your child support payment decrease?
That's a good question on their neck. That is a good question.
Are you saying that he's not the father? Take down your responsibility?
Are you saying that the guy should take your place?
No, financially, that happened with me where I met my wife and I'm stepdad. And he wasn't paying child support, but over time, the court finally made him start paying, so he was kicking in, and that was helping them out. I mean, I never saw anything he was fighting it, but I don't know. I don't know what they were doing with that money.
Yeah, that's not his child. If he comes into the home, his responsibility is the mom.
I get why he said that. Because at the end, check this out. Y'all listen. Y'all level with me for a second. All right. So boom, the new boyfriend moves in, right? Mm-hmm. He ain't got no job. He ain't paying no bills. He just sitting there smoking. He just sitting there chilling. Now, but because she likes him so much. No, hold on. Now, mom has the child support card.
It happens a lot.
Hold on. Mom has the child support card, right? Guess what? Mom goes out to eat. What's his name? Robinson.
Ray.
Ray. John. Jameer or whatever.
Mook. He out there.
he riding with it. Next thing you know, you want something to eat? Oh yeah, swipe that card. You got that card, don't you? Oh yeah, man. It's food. Now, guess what? I don't think we heard anything about little JJ in the backseat. They forgot. Then we gonna get little JJ some nuggets from Cookout. They $1. That's all he need to eat anyway. Where we gonna get this.
You eating
this crusty
steak and
crab.
potatoes.
Right, we're gonna go to the crusty crab, what they call it, red crab.
Juicy crab.
Now I'm not saying that
juicy. There we go.
those
Juicy.
situations don't happen, but they definitely should not. And a man moving in with the woman definitely should not decrease child support, whether he moves in
The only thing
or not.
The only thing that should decrease is alimony, and I think alimony shouldn't even be a thing. But definitely when a man should stop is if mom got a boyfriend. But the only time they stop it is if the woman gets married. And the likelihood is if she's getting alimony, she is not ever going to get married again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she ain't gonna never get it.
That's crazy. Why would you do? Look, we can be together. We don't need that contract. We just get this free money. He's paying me about 10 bands. Once I sign that piece of paper, that alleviates him from paying me. Why would I do that? That doesn't make sense.
Why would you do that?
Make it make sense.
Because that's
Johnny O'Neal did it.
Who?
Shaq wife.
Oh, Shaq did it?
Yeah. No, Shawnee, his ex-wife.
Oh, what'd she do?
She got remarried and she cut off the alimony that he was paying her. It was like $100,000 or something crazy. She got remarried and cut that off.
Wow.
Yeah, once you get remarried, it cuts off.
But she's rare.
She's married.
Right. Every woman's not.
She married
a lot of these women.
Yes, she married that pastor.
She also married a famous pastor too.
Yeah, he got like 4 churches.
So he got mega church, and they got mega churches too.
Yeah.
So you married somebody maybe not as rich as Shaq, but son got bread, and you got your bread from your basketball wife show and all that. So that's different. The average woman is not gonna do it. She gonna be like, yo, listen, if I'm getting, look at Dr. Dre, his wife is never, ever gonna remarry again. There's no reason because he's paying her millions.
I mean,
in her lifetime, she's gonna see millions from that dude.
But even still, get married again and then have to go through divorce can be messy.
Yeah,
that is why they're not getting married again. They're not getting married again because they're gonna keep getting paid.
Ticket.
That's what y'all saying.
That lotto ticket.
That's what it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I think you're not finding nobody that's worth it.
Right.
Why?
Maybe the woman is not worth it.
Look.
These guys are worth it. They're getting bread. They're doing what they got to do. Unfortunately, these women are marrying.
Shawnee found somebody that was rare enough to do that for.
She did. Y'all are looking at very narrow situations.
He did. Okay, but I'm just saying, she found somebody that was deemed worthy to drop the alimony. They got like 4 kids together, her and Shaq.
Yeah.
So I can't say that.
Well, I mean, but once again, alimony and child support are 2 different things. So,
but she was a stay-at-home mom, so
did she drop the child support too when she got married?
No, you can't really. They ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, you can't.
She's probably getting a ton of money for that.
I think they're all adults now, though.
Yeah, she's not getting child support. I don't think Shaq was ever.
They grown?
You don't think Shaq was ever on child support?
No.
See, now if Shaq was in New York, he would have been paying child support and alimony
automatically.
It's ridiculous.
I think if you took these monetary situations away, people would move differently. I'm surprised that men, as much as we value money and have to work like we do to get it, you think we'd be more careful. I mean, again,
right, Rafi.
Outside of marriage, you can't have I got a divorce, but I mean, just out here casually, smash and stuff like that, and you end up on child support. You're like, damn, I ain't even get my life started. Now I'm paying $400 or $500 a month to some girl I don't even like, So you would think people would move differently, but it ain't. It's not a good birth control, and I think
because men are not talking to other men rants and telling them, yo, protect your seed. You know what I'm saying? We're not out here saying like, yo, listen, there's a consequence to your action. And if you do the wrong action, you could get buried for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So this 10 minutes of pleasure, would ruin you forever. And this is
Women
why I
are
try
not
to say
married
people
on
don't
Listen, I
like
wouldn't
this.
say that though fully. And
Women are
this is why
married on earth.
I wouldn't say that fully. And this is why I say that. Because some men are telling men, but some men are boneheaded. They just still want to just do what they want to do.
Third leg.
Not
Yeah.
enough men. Not enough men are talking though. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Not enough.
Because even in that instance, you still got women also need to talk to other women and tell women, marry before you carry. Stop being out here reckless with your JJ just because he got bow legs. Find a dude that is going to give you something more than hard penis and some bubble gum. Yeah. But neither side are talking to each other. So the next generation is going to come up and keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. We can't talk to the old people. So all of this right now is if we're just talking to older people, it's irrelevant. It's like
we're
gonna make our mistake.
But see, that's
what we
I'm
need
saying.
to do is talk to the young, talk to these young girls, talk to these young boys.
They ain't trying to listen.
But the music is so hypersexualized and everything on TV and all this other stuff. It's hard to compete against that.
It is.
Can't compete against Sexy Red, huh?
Wow.
Sexual world though that we're living in right now, and it's crazy. Everything is led by sex right now.
Yep. I didn't see the BET Awards, but everything that was advertised or people posted about it, everything was just like almost being at a strip joint.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
You don't see the country music awards. You don't see the country music awards doing all that.
No,
you know?
It's so hard to be relevant like that.
But
in the wrong way.
Right, I totally agree. But then you got the other crazy aspect that MTV has. I'm 16 and pregnant. Whatever that TV show that's been out for about 10, 15 years now, and it's like y'all really out here. Is this the right message? I don't know. I've never watched the show. What is 16 and pregnant or something like that?
Yeah,
something like that.
Look, years ago, they used to look down on you to be pregnant at a young age like that.
You be shamed by your family.
You be shamed.
Now parents are helping kids.
It's home.
Bring shame back. Bring it back.
Yeah.
Like, you got these. You remember back in the days, because we all old enough to remember back in the days when you went to church, right? And if a young girl was pregnant in the church, she had to sit in the back. She wasn't the leader of a choir. She wasn't none of that stuff back in the churches. Now, that same woman who's like, yo, I just got pregnant again by I don't even know who. She's the choir director. She might even be the pastor of the church next year. And she's leading the flock. So what is this? There's no shame anymore. There's nothing. Right. Like we just doing whatever. And if you say something that's shameful, you won't.
A lot of parents try to hide their child's wrongdoing. Like, not saying that everything got to be publicized or whatever, but like maybe somebody comes.
We're not even talking about just and make sure you break that down. We're not even just talking about young kids. We're talking about old children, like 32, like anywhere your child.
Oh, those ain't children no more, right. Bro.
But they acting like children, so I got to classify them. What is that?
Living in the house, you a kid.
Right.
Once you in your house, you're a kid.
You living in your parents' house, you still a kid. I don't care if you're 40.
Yeah.
What if you have to go back home for unforeseen circumstances? Would he still be, or she still be considered a child?
Medicare for 15 years, right? So I work 65 and older people, right? And the older motto back then, what it was, once you move out, ain't no coming back home. You're coming back to visit. You're not moving back in. You're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Stand on your own 2 feet, figure it out.
Now, listen, what you said right there is major. And for you to say that as a woman, I definitely gonna give you one of these. Yeah. Because a lot of women extra coddle kids, and this is what stunts them from growing. They coddle them and just hold a little pinky finger like they still 3 years old, and they're like, and this is why they get old, 30, 40, 50, and still be stuck to your hip. You can't get rid of them. Then they turn into your husband because now they want to, stay in the house, and now they guarding it. They're territorial at this point. They ain't leaving.
Baby boy.
Baby boy. There you go. There you go.
They create son husbands, and that's really what it is. The son husband thing is a real thing in our community. It's a real thing.
Along with the Oedipus complexes.
But then, like we always say, and then those are the same men that women complain about. Like, it's like, all these men. But hold up, man. Look at him. The same woman that's like, oh, no, baby, you could come back home to me. Oh, no, baby, it's fine. Oh, no, baby, it's... We need mothers like Penny that's going to be like, yo, keep your ass outside and figure it out.
Right. You ran out
left,
there.
You stay out.
Yeah, you hopped off the porch. Show me. You want to be like NFL young boy and all that, hopping off the porch and do it. Now,
I'm here
show
to
me.
support you. I'm here to guide you. But I'm not going to carry you anymore. Once you out, you're going to stay out. And if you need help along the way, because even as adults, we need help. Everybody needs somebody. So I will guide you. I will help support you from the outside, but I'm not going to carry you. No.
Boom shakalaka.
I can agree with that, Penny.
Yo, you're driving Boombox crazy with your sound effects.
And let me tell you, because Penny is firing on all cylinders.
He really kind of throwing that shot at me because
no, I'm not. I'm just saying she's firing on all cylinders.
Try to say that I coddle my boys, but I don't. I just be there for them.
Well, I didn't want to say that.
No,
I don't think he said that. I don't think he said that, Boombox.
I didn't say that.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. I know.
But I've been there, so I can relate. My middle son, I comforted, like I babied him. He like baby boy, right? But now I'm talking about he's 21 years old, and I'm stuck battling right now on I'm pulling him away. But again, I also see where I messed up by holding him on too long.
Oh my goodness, accountability. And that's what's missing with women. Yes.
So now it's like when he goes out into the world, he's lost without me. I have to hold his hand, but you also have to look at the world we live in right now in 2024. Tomorrow is not promised more now than it was years ago. Right. So with that being said, I feel like the worst thing as a parent is to know that, God forbid, something happened and your kid cannot survive without you. So now I feel like when you raise a child, you have to teach them survival skills first, how to survive on their own, because again, nowadays, life is shorter than it was years ago, which is it's crazy. Like, that's just the reality of it. So now you have to teach your kids how to survive, how to live, how to on their own. You can't.
But definitely with men, I see with men, you need a man to teach a man how to do that. To me, Penny, not for nothing, it wasn't your responsibility as a woman to show that young boy how to be a man.
Right. Again,
a man was around.
Really were a lot of the problems.
Right. And he's right about that.
No, I'm saying that's really where a lot of the problems come in. So, you know, like I'm dealing with the same thing with my middle baby boy or whatever. And his father biologically is absent. So a lot of that weight lies on us. And there's still that missing link to
there you go.
The link.
There you go.
He's right there.
The only thing I disagree with is if the father is not active. We need men, again, it doesn't have to be the father. They need a man figure, right? It can be
I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
I got
it could be a coach. No, it takes a village to raise a kid.
I mean,
I agree with that.
All of these men there to help with that mental stability, but
boys need their fathers. We crave that.
They do, but if the father's not there, they need a man.
Now,
if that's the case, then
let's just say that the father has passed on. That's different. But if the father has not passed on and that father is not around, that is always going to be in the back of that boy's mind. And it's going to cause problems. And it's going to cause him to act out. And he not even know why he acting out. But that's what the issue is because your daddy's not there chastising you or helping to guide you. Yeah, you got your mom and she's there to nurture you. But that redirection always stems from the father. Like, that's the final say. So, Dad, what do you?
All men can say that. All men will say, "I need my dad."
I think only that's because us mothers are the ones that's telling these kids, like trying to make up for that absent father. So it's like, you my mom, you gonna say whatever to make me feel good, this and that. So they are feeling like, why my daddy don't love me, why my daddy ain't there. But guess what? A man can tell that son the same thing you're telling them, but they're gonna take it differently from that man figure than they're taking it from us.
Only in that moment. Only in that moment that man is there communicating and talking.
Long as he's consistent, it changes when it comes to him.
Once that man becomes consistent and active in that boy's life, it will make a difference. But there will still be that empty little piece.
Look at little Future. You think he missing Future?
Who is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sierra.
Oh yeah.
I do.
Yeah, he is.
Let me tell you why. Can I get this
showing up and present for him and takes him and does things with him. The conversations that they may have one-on-one is more valuable to him than those conversations that him and Sierra can have.
Those conversations definitely are valuable. They will definitely help him in the long run. But as he's becoming a man, he's changing, his hormones are changing. And then you got to think about it like this, like sometimes the guy can be thinking like, why don't my father want to spend time with me? Why don't my father want me? What is something wrong with me?
But
and
it ain't only that.
Self-esteem and lower his self-value in his mind. And yeah, that man can be there to encourage that and to say that. But what about, like, look at it like this: all the guys that tells certain females that they're beautiful and they just don't feel it, or they just don't see it, or they just don't believe it when somebody's telling them. So it's kind of the same thing.
Louder than words.
Now, I agree with all that, but if Future is in his son's life, which I don't see how they are, because one's in Colorado and one, but they got the money to fly back and forth
every day if you want.
Yeah.
Right. So that's that disappointment.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, so he's probably attached to Russell Wilson, which he was there with, but it's more so, hey, me and your mom broke up. I still love you as a son, if they have that dynamic. Now, we can look at Nick Cannon. I mean, he's obviously there, but I'm sure these women probably have
other men,
yeah. So, it's like, well, my dad works 24 hours a day, so these guys are replacement dad or bonus dads or whatever, whatever the term is.
They're secondary.
I agree with everything y'all are saying, though. I just,
to me, a child needs their biological father, no matter what. And I do believe, like Boombox said,
they really do.
Boombox, like what Boombox said, because no matter what, a woman could never ever say, like, what a boy child, that urge that, no matter what, how thuggish the father is, if he's in the streets, if he's a straight stone cold red rummer, we all as boys will always come back to, that's still my dad.
Like,
that's
no matter what.
Even if a child is born and just say they're adopted from the hospital, right? They don't know their biological father. They grow up with
this is a good one.
With the family, right? With the person that's present. But guess what? They don't miss what they don't know, right? So if that family, that man is in their life and he's consistent, he's giving them that love, attention, and all of that they're needing, that child grows up and has all the fundamentals that they need. They're not missing anything. Until somebody comes in and be like, oh, you were adopted.
That's one question. And then
go ahead.
Okay, in this scenario, I just got to make sure. In this scenario, does the child know that they're adopted or they're unaware?
Well, I'm saying when they don't know that they're adopted, they just know they're in this household full of love.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
They're not missing anything. They're
yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Y'all let Link talk.
Yeah, y'all. I've been waiting patiently.
As soon as somebody be like, "You're adopted,"
yeah, there we go. So now check this out. Everything that you're saying, it sounds good, but like I said, the biological dad, he may, if he's not present, if that kid finds out eventually, because you always used to see the shows where it's like the kid finds out that he's adopted later and he's like, why didn't you tell me? And yeah, things might go good while it's a secret or you don't know and he's not available. But once he finds out, he spirals out of control. He puts on a leather jacket and drives a GT Mustang as fast as he can go and plays Stand by Eminem. You know, so and that's what I'm saying. Because I know firsthand from experience, like, you know, but think about when they go to school and then next thing you know, they be like, they or they do know that this guy is their stepdad or the guy that loves them and takes care of them and does all that. But check it out. Once these friends say that's not your real dad, guess what? He's broken. Smash. It's over. It doesn't matter what you did. You could have carried him on your shoulders to Toys R Us. Remember Toys R Us, y'all, with the long giraffe?
You know what break them when you say this is my stepchild.
No, and that's the thing. But you don't even have to say. That's the thing. Like I know firsthand. I never used to address them ever. You can ask Boom. Never. And guess what? These kids will still find a way to dig in their soul because you know I had Jared since he was 2, right? So that's your whole life. You see what I'm saying? But you know when kids pick on other kids, guess what? They just did. These kids told me you'll never be able to talk to your real dad. Everything went out the window.
And another thing, another thing that's not being factored in is the fact that what y'all are right about is what you don't know you're missing. You don't know, right? But it still doesn't mean that you don't feel as if something is not missing. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And listen to most people that was adopted because I'm very close to people that were adopted. Actually, you know, y'all know my situation. You know, Boombox and Link.
Me too.
So there's always something in them. And then even when they get to become adults, they tend to want to search and find who they are. No matter how good you was as a parent, no matter what was instilled in them, even as adults, they still have that urge to want to know who was my daddy.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I used to look at my dad. I used to look at him when he used to drive. I used to be like, Dad, we look alike. We got the same hands. That little kid started looking, them hands are totally different. You know, he don't look like he look Indian and I'm black.
You start questioning it. Yeah. Like are we really and then it happens. And then that's when kids start acting out. Another part to that is kids start to feel like, yo, you hear it all the time. Stepdaddies do not get appreciated.
But that's the problem because it's women too. Women need mothers and they don't have those.
Yeah, there'll be mothers missing.
They have a friend or they just have somebody that's there, you know. So I think
you did say that good.
Generation, they don't have parents.
They have friends.
Parents.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Man, you need another horn. Where is it? You need another horn for that one. Oh,
you are draw Boombox crazy with these sound effects.
Man, I can't find it.
But I do agree with what they.
There we go. I got you. Don't worry, Penny.
On their necks, he said it perfect. That's how it goes.
There it goes. There
ain't my dad.
Yep.
On my neck. There
my dad.
And it's something that every stepfather worries in the back of their mind that, you know, they're giving their all to this kid and they worry about the child one day saying that. And in a lot of cases it does happen. And sadly it's the truth, but it's because
it's a defense mechanism.
They're trying to find themselves and they're trying to figure out how to accept what their cards are, the cards that they have,
right? And accept that somebody else. Now this is what makes it work. So y'all listen to this. How is this man that's not my biological dad love me more than my real dad?
Right.
What is wrong with me while my real dad can't love me like this stranger does? Not really a stranger, but somebody that's a stranger to my DNA. You see what I'm saying? Why does my own DNA not love me like this man?
You see what on the next podcast just wrote?
Oh, I got that 3 times and it killed me. Yeah.
And I feel your heart.
Let me just say,
you just write them out of the will.
No, Rand.
You ain't getting nothing.
You can't do that. You have to understand that they're hurting. They're not really saying it to hurt you. Well, at that time,
Reds ain't having it. Look at him.
They're saying it to hurt you because they're coming from a place of hurt.
Yeah, no, I get that. I didn't experience that because I came on. Well, I came on my daughter's scene, she was turning 3, and she got to know her biological period. But he only came around for like graduation, maybe call happy birthday type stuff. But he wasn't involved. But you know, it wasn't a big deal. You know, I would never keep a child from wanting to find out who their biological is. I'm not that type of person. You know, I don't think that's right anyway. But
you be living a lie.
You know, I don't know. I just let stuff roll off. I ain't got time for that shit.
What do y'all think? What do y'all think about that girl? Y'all saw it on my channel the other day when I played it with the young lady that said she was like, when my dad just came out of jail, so my biological father just came out of jail. So now when I get married, I want my biological father and my stepdaddy to both walk me down the aisle. What? Yo, the highest honor Pookie was never there. The highest honor you could give the highest honor you could give as a woman, because she said it, he was never there, but that's my biological dad.
But you still allow him that chance.
But you're giving him a chance to walk down the aisle and hand you over.
Your most important.
He wasn't there.
You could give a man.
But he went to jail.
Yeah, because he did something stupid to get locked up. He's the reason why he was locked up.
Not all the time.
But here's the thing.
These Negroes is doing stuff to get locked up.
Put yourself in the shoes of the person that was locked up, and your child says, you know, hey, I want you to walk me down the aisle. You know, put yourself in those shoes to see if you would like, nah, you know, stepdad's got it. Or you'd be like, I'm honored, you know, appreciate it.
But they could have had a relationship.
The child asking the dad.
In prison. Like, you know, I didn't see the video, so I mean, like, what was their relationship? Just because you go to jail don't mean we absolutely cut off. We can still have phones in jail and all that.
Pen
pals,
letters,
so I mean,
a conversation, an apology.
No, you could have still been sending home money.
Yeah.
You could have still been sending home money. They work in prison.
Yeah.
They ain't working like that. They're making like 10 cents an hour.
I think
some of them be
we let our egos as dads get in, or parents, you know, but we was talking about dads get in the way of what's the benefit for the child and their healing. And just like you said, you know, they may come from a hurt place, and it's like, well, hey, you know, make it fun and for everybody. Everybody gets to be involved. You know, it's not necessarily I'm gonna shut you down because you let me down because you went to jail because you was out here, you know, fighting dogs and shit. You know, it's like, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah, it's just, you know, some things happen. We make bad decisions. We all want a bad decision away from going to prison, right? So.
No, not really, Paul. Not really, Rance.
Paul.
I'm not doing that. Oh, somebody was just texting me and he mentioned Paul.
Was his name
I was
Paul?
like, yo, my bad. Yeah, somebody who texted me talking about Paul. My bad.
I can see you being a Paul, Rance.
That's crazy. My bad, Rance. I ain't mean that.
You good. No, you good, man. Like I said, I don't stuff, man. I'm 45 years old. I don't take nothing personal like that. It's just, you know, if my daughter said she wanted that to happen, I'd be like, okay, cool. But if it was some kind of disrespectful type of situation, you know, you ain't, you know, you were never my real dad. I ain't like you anyway from the jump, but you was every time I was breaking bread. Every time I was breaking bread, you was sitting there at the table, or you know, had your hand out,
and stuff,
stuff like that.
That would hurt. That would hurt my heart, Rance. I'm not gonna lie. If my daughter comes up to me and says anything along those lines, like I said, my stepdaughter, and came up to me along those lines of a man that wasn't even there. If he was there, and let's say he got locked up for 6 months and he came out of jail and he wants to walk you down the aisle, fine. I'll fall all the way back because I ain't doing it both. But when it comes down to me knowing that I raised you your whole life from a child,
and you didn't
a full-blown adult, and then now this man who wasn't there at all decides, because that's where the kid's love is. They're biological no matter what. So now he comes out of, that's what happened. Now he come out of jail and it's like, you gonna let him and me walk down the aisle? No, you walk with him.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But
You
I mean, it's just a walk.
No,
Like,
it's not.
It's
it's not a walk.
Y'all don't know
Because
what that means to a man.
Y'all,
That's
no,
not
not
just a
only
walk
that,
to a
not only
man.
that. GMT, not only that.
But
Not
she's
only-
trying to give
Doesn't
both
matter.
of y'all the opportunity to
I
be
want the
with
highest honor. I want the
No,
highest
not
honor.
only that. Boom, boom.
But-
Y'all know y'all think about getting married as kids. Y'all talk about the wedding, how it's gonna be.
Y'all not looking at a man and how y'all
dad
not
would
thinking about how men look at respect. That's the highest honor you could give a dad.
Yeah.
Right, but that's
The highest
that's
honor my daughter could give me is walking down the aisle. The highest
that
honor
is
my son
being
could give me is a
selfish.
grandchild.
Yeah, I
That
thought it
is
was
being
like 2 or 3
selfish
years.
and not putting you're not putting the child first in that situation.
So
to both walk down?
You equate your own feelings.
Why? How did that happen?
Because you're
I mean,
saying,
but-
well, if you want your dad to walk with us, then I'm not going to walk at all.
I mean, we both gonna
I ain't
hold a
walking.
hand each.
That's like a child saying, I want strawberry ice cream. You really
We
But
gonna
you
hold
gotta-
hands.
boom, you
Look,
gotta-
just look at how dumb that looks. We gonna both hold your hand.
Yeah.
You gotta
Is one gonna
understand-
get the tail of the dress? Which one's gonna get the back tail of the dress?
Boom,
Who
you
gonna
gotta
get the back
understand-
seat?
Boom, you gotta understand.
No, there's already somebody back there that is.
Okay, because I just feel like if you're in that person's life and they did absolutely nothing, because you said he did absolutely nothing, he wasn't there, right? Okay, so if he wasn't there, he
He
shouldn't
did
get
not say that.
point blank. Period.
He said the dad was in jail.
Okay, he wasn't there.
Yeah,
He wasn't there, essentially.
She said he was never there the whole podcast. She said that the dad was never there. But
whole
she loved him,
podcast.
right? No
I
matter
thought you
what.
talking about like 2 or 3 years. If he was never there,
Nah,
then, yeah, that's a different
son
story.
hit a body. That's the reason why he was in jail.
Yeah.
So
He had football numbers.
he is the reason why he was in jail. He didn't just get pulled over and got hit with some marijuana charges and it was like, yo, we gonna lock you up for 13
Right.
years. No.
Yeah.
Yo, son, you did something to be locked up for that long.
Like you was, yeah.
Right.
So, but-
And I like that. That's my kid now. Thank you.
And upset.
That's my child.
But at the same time, she still got love for her dad, and it's her special day. So, like, just put the pride to the side and be there for the
Be a
child.
special. Nah,
If
I'm
you
gonna
say
be a
you
special day with your dad.
It's a whole life.
You take that criminal and you walk down the aisle with him.
If you're saying that you love, if you have unconditional love, because usually a child always comes with unconditional love. So the circumstances overseeded, you know, the love that she had overseeded his circumstances.
Yes.
So with that being said, the father and the stepfather should also see it that same way.
Okay. Yeah, I don't agree. But everybody that's watching, like, comment, and subscribe for more content. If you want to hear more of this, what you call it, GMT, debauchery?
Debauchery, foolishness.
So I got something to end the show because I want to thank everybody for using your valuable time and spending it with us. You know, thank you, GMT, thank you, Rance, Penny, thank you so much. Hope we'll see you back again. And boom, box, baby. I got this going. We're gonna go out with this right here, and then y'all show me y'all reaction, and then we're gonna end the show.
There you go, mama, get him!
Ready. Fight!
The baby needs shoes!
Stop!
You're supposed to pay daycare this month!
Excuses!
You missed your son's birthday!
Excuses!
So put my ass busy!
Ow! Wait, you can't do that.
Fort!
Oh, you bitch!
Fort!
Oh, you bitch! DNA Finish her!
We're going to find out right now. In the case of 4-year-old Braden, Lante, you are not.
Deadbeat Daddy wins! Oh,
you know what I call that?
It is.
Wow.
Excellent.
Wow.
That's what I call that. So you see, they go through all that, and men still, it might not even be their kid. And that's crazy.
30% of men that actually took the test found out they were not the father of the child.
And I believe
that
those
is
numbers.
That's a lot. And in Jamaica, it's way more.
What?
In Jamaica, it's roughly like 60%.
Different. Jamaica is different.
Jamaica, they be wilding. But in America, 30% is a It's a huge number though.
And is that
30% of a
30% in us, or is that as a whole?
That's as a whole. That's as a whole.
So it's huge.
Well, that's for that, and that's not just that's court for court mandated ones. That's also people that just went in the hospital, took paternity tests. It's all around 30%. That's a lot, and you could only imagine the men that didn't test.
So the woman just sitting there looking like she started going through her phone like, damn, I did shit.
The woman
got an
is,
idea.
Mama's baby, Papa maybe.
Boom. What's your thoughts? And I need you to tell me a story where somebody didn't pass that DNA test. and the sneaky stuff that they do. Go. Just the worst one you've ever heard. The worst story you've ever heard.
The worst story I've ever heard is taking another kid that you know is the the father's child, in for the DNA test of the other kid.
Yeah, so you use
the kid's mouth instead of your kid.
Right.
And then you get served child support, and you're on it, and you're sad, and you're like, yeah, I know it wasn't me, and they're just like, nah, it was you. All right, GMT, what about you?
Nasty work. Yep.
Nasty work. We gotta put that.
I mean, I'm trying to stay from being personal with this, but I definitely been through a situation where the child. But all in all, I still raise the child as mine.
Oh wow!
Okay. I'm gonna just
salute to you. Still salute to you, because you're the exception. Now there are a few exceptions, but you definitely hold on. I got something for you backstage. Hold on, it's coming.
You win.
Do I? You
win. You want to know why? Because you're the leader of the next generation of men that should be doing.
I don't recommend men to. I don't recommend men to do that at all.
Right.
I do not recommend for men to do that.
Do what?
I recommend men, the moment that you have a question of the paternity, to go take your behind to the courthouse or whatever you have to do. Go grab whatever test you can, and go out there and figure it out. And if you do not feel as the need to be in that child's life after, don't take away from yourself. I wouldn't tell my son to do it, so I'm not going to tell other men to do it.
Right. But the fact that you did it, why?
Right.
Is something in you.
I'll tell you why I did it. I was indoctrinated in a very liberal mindset. I was indoctrinated. I was indoctrinated and raised to be that person, to put myself last. Not
that's a bar. That's a bar.
First.
Oh yeah.
As I grew up and became a man now, I now teach my children, put yourself first, which means protect your seed.
Gotcha.
That makes sense too. But definitely want to acknowledge.
There you go. That's for you right there. That's for you, GMT.
You didn't.
Me personally, I don't even call it a real man. I'll be honest with you. I didn't put myself first.
No.
That would not make you real. That would make you selfless.
No, I don't even agree with that. That'll just make me a man that didn't have guidance by a stronger man.
Not necessarily. It still takes a village. So you just
because you could have still just dropped it.
You put the child first.
You need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may have came with regret, but
and you built a bond.
Right. Or did you?
Did I?
Did you? Yeah, did you?
We don't really know this. We don't know this topic. So let's just.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, for me, what I think is, I still think, it's a grand gesture. But
all right. Not for the mom, but you did it for the child.
Right. But okay, so Penny, what
What
about
about
you?
what about a situation where I know this dude, right? He had a son, happy, first son, right? That he thought took care of the little boy. Just say he was 8 years old, his mom passed away, right? His mom passed away, and the grandma took full custody once the mom passed away. The grandmother decides to now she's money hungry. So she decides to go after the father for money now that the mom has passed away, right? When he was a very active father as long as since the little boy was born, okay? Doing that, now he never questioned the paternity of this child. The child at this point, by the time they get to court and all that, he's 10. They test the little boy, it's not his son. It's not his son.
What?
He's heartbroken, which something that he was very happy and proud about because he felt like this was his first and only child, okay? And it's a boy. So he still tried to be there for the child because he felt like one, the mother has passed away, and two, he needed the child at this point just as much as he felt like the child needed him, right? However, the grandmother, she's so money hungry that she's trying to pull financially still, knowing that this is not his child, to the point where he had to cut ties. So now the child is out here without a mother
or a father.
Nor a father. Come to find
There's
out.
nobody to find out.
No, come to find out, his father, guess who his father is? His aunt's husband.
Huh?
I swear.
Okay, how did they find that out?
Tyler Perry movie.
That's a whole Tyler Perry movie, yo.
I'm telling you, this is the truth.
Written and directed by
his
TP.
father is the aunt's husband, which is his.
Emmett.
Yeah.
Wait, but how
That's
did they
crazy.
find out?
Because he wound up stepping up to do a DNA test.
Oh, wow. Well, good for him. You know, being honest.
But he's still not a father in his kid's life, because now the aunt is still married to this man. They're still in the family. And of course, now you want to shelter and hide this information. So now you just, I'm your uncle still, because that's all the little boy knows, that's his uncle. So now in his mind, this kid is growing up. Now he's a young adult without a mother nor a father. Because the father that he's living with in his heart, that the father that he knew that was always present, always there, that he can always call, he feel like that man just left and walked out on him.
Oh, so they haven't told him the truth.
No.
And that's another problem, lying to these kids.
Lying to these kids.
Lying to these kids is a problem.
Go ahead and give us what you got.
For me?
Yep.
I don't have a Jerry Springer story like that. I did want to address rebuttal for what Boombox has said about the walking down the aisle thing. And I was going to say that, you know, as dads, we don't get many opportunities to shine, you know, so that's special to us, to walk your daughter down the aisle, you know, see your kids graduate, see a child born, stuff like that. So it's, you know, that's just one of those life events for us. And, you know,
I can
share
agree
with
with
somebody that hasn't been there can be kind of, you know, disrespectful. Like I said, I didn't know he was been in jail since the beginning. I thought it was just some old white collar crime. You know, went away for a couple of years and that was it.
Right.
To that, but that was all. I'm sorry, y'all don't have any juicy stories like that. That's crazy. All of those are wild.
That's so true.
Damn.
Right. Well, man, once again, it was a great topic. Y'all stay tuned for next Thursday. We're going to do every Thursday at 8 p.m. I'm gonna try not to mess that up for you guys. We got girl math next week. Definitely check us out on that. It's gonna be crazy. We're gonna see how women do math. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. And thank you everybody who's watching, who tuned in. Like, comment, and subscribe, share. Definitely check out Grown Men Talking on Sundays at 4, Tuesdays.
Sundays at 4, Tuesdays at 9.
So thank you guys for watching, and we're about to go out to the outro. And make sure you guys tune in. If you're on Facebook, slide over to YouTube for me just a little bit. All you gotta do is scooch over to the side.
Momentarily. Facebook is not going anywhere.
People still use Facebook.
Yes, man. I use it too.
Peace.
Peace.
I just wanna ride along. I just wanna ride along. I just wanna ride along. Let's change up the vibe. What are you in my life? I sit to the side, I will let you decide. I stay out of the way, I know you know what's best for me. Just a pinch more of your spirit completes the recipe. You're all that I needed, tired of playing defense. When you take control of my life, it has a meaning. I need you to have your way. I don't wanna drive, I stick to the side. I just wanna ride along. I gotta ride along. You can take the wheel, I'll be still in jail. I just wanna ride along. You got full control. I'll leave it up to you, I promise. I'm not gonna move, you got this. I'll just work on me while you driving. Ride